So I've been seeing a lot of my TikTok about this Marvel rival drama. I got the new YouTube notification today that my goat Moist Critical had posted about it. So I thought I'm just gonna watch it. I might as well do some reaction. Today's video is kind of based off of my favorite YouTuber. The way I'm laying it out. Let's see if any of you guys can guess who my favorite React YouTuber is. I'd be very surprised. He's kind of a niche one, but without further ado, let's just kind of get in the video. I don't know if I'm going to be the greatest talking about Marvel Rivals. I'm not like a professional at it, but let's just hop into it.
I haven't heard of video game drama this big since the whole Dream Minecraft speedrunning saga. What's happening with the Marvel Rivals $40,000 tournament situation is pretty bizarre. In a nutshell...
Okay, so a basic rundown for those of you that might not know. He's probably back explaining it here in a second, so I don't know. I paused it. Pretty much, this one guy was on a team, and they were competing to announce kind of Deadpool, but they were just competing for 40K, and he needed it for student loans. This one girl was playing Black Widow, or Widowmaker? No, it's Black Widow. Sorry. Playing Black Widow, and she refused to switch off of it. And then he eventually got kicked, and they lost. I think they got, like, last place or whatever. And everybody's trolling the fuck out of the girl because she wouldn't switch. And they were like, well, we need to be positive more than the 40K, and the guy just wanted to pay off his college debt. That's kind of how I understand it. Let's see what he says, but that's kind of my basic explanation.
There was a Marvel Rivals tournament with a $40,000 prize purse. There was a player by the name of Kingsman who really wanted to take this seriously, making a mention that this money would be very helpful to him as a college student. And the rest of the team,
like I said, college
didn't seem to take it all that seriously, and eventually, when Kingsman was trying to, make changes to the team comp so they could better stand a chance at winning, they all attacked him, and eventually it led to him getting kicked from the tournament. His team then went on to place second to last in the tournament.
Okay, guys. Pace and point proven right now. Do you understand?
No, it's well, you've been making me feel like shit. Of course I'm gonna
How
play.
do you not see the problem right now?
Wait, first of all, is that ass Kingsman? Like, shut the fuck up.
Okay, bro.
You're doing too much.
Lucy's not even on
Hold up.
Invis. Second of all, you're getting value because
No. She shouldn't be dead.
Yes.
I'm getting value because I'm 1v6ing.
Hulk isn't peeling for you, bro. Yes, Zaza is 0-5, but we won the point, bro. Why? Because they were hard. Like, 4 people are dying here. That means 4 of their util, 4 of their resources are all spent on Zaza.
I saw this a couple days ago, and I was so confused why anyone would be joining a tournament if they didn't actually care about winning at all. So
Okay. I just wanted to make sure I saw this properly. So, my biggest confusion, and I want to make sure, so I can play devil's advocate here a little bit for a second. Okay. I have been in the shoes, because I'm dog shit at video games, okay? I have been in the shoes where I am selling the shit out of my teammates, and they won't shut up about how bad I am. And it really irritates me. Like, whenever they're like, you suck so much, oh my gosh, see, this is exactly what I'm saying, yada, yada, yada. Like, I understand playing your character because you enjoy that character, and how annoying it can be when people are like, you shouldn't be playing that character. But I am also a college student, and I know that any amount of money would help me significantly, let alone 40 grand. So I don't agree with this chick at all. I just want to get that out there. Now, as a college student, I love 40 grand. As a gamer, I can understand where she's coming from, that like, oh my gosh. But we're having conflicting issues here. Like, her mentality is great for whenever you're just playing games for shits and giggles. When you're playing games for 40 grand, this guy is obviously leading the team, and I want to see his stats. His stats are amazing. He's obviously carrying.
So he is very clearly trying his best to help the team win. And they were talking about like how toxic and annoying and insufferable he was, things like that, which eventually led to him getting kicked and being like disrespectful, that kind of thing. From all the clips I've seen, he never made any like personal attacks against anyone. He was never even like overbearing or like yelling and screaming. The closest he came was in this clip here where he's like, do you understand, like, case in point, we should make a switch. This isn't working. Our Widow is 0-5-0, which is a very fair point and a good suggestion because it clearly wasn't working. They may have won the point, but I think it's a large part because
0-5-0 as a DPS. See, that's what I'm saying. Like, And again, I also get where he's coming from, right? Like I can't imagine how irritating that is. Like that's probably for me that would pay my whole like after scholarships if I had that 40 grand, that would pay for my entire college career. Right. Plus some. I'd have money left over. And so I could see why he'd be so frustrated. Especially if you're in a tournament like that. And I saw a clip earlier today where I think they were all Grandmaster or something like that. Like one of the top ranks. You should be able to put your ego aside and say like, oh, I'm going 0-5. Like, I get they won their round, but 0-5 just says I'm contributing nothing except giving their team more ultimate points. You know what I'm saying? In the sense that every time you die, you're giving them more energy towards their ultimate abilities. And you're not getting anything. And well, if I remember her right, Black Widow's ult isn't anything special. I think it just shoots like a stronger bullet, right? Like, nothing about her really stands out to me. And I've always hated sniper mains in games like Marvel Rivals and Overwatch because I feel like they're too fast-paced for a sniper to be competent.
Put the team on his fucking back here, like 18-2. He was kind of going Insano style.
18-2 is crazy. Yeah, that's crazy.
Why this became such a huge issue for his teammates, where they hated him so much for trying to win that they started insulting him after the fact, and that's where most of the drama stems from.
Okay.
Them refusing to switch is one thing that feels like it's kind of trolling and just intentionally throwing the tournament for the sake of vibes, which is weird because again,
Agreed.
just go play quick play or something. Why even bother going
Exactly,
to a tournament
exactly.
if the goal isn't to try and win it?
That's how
he
I
made
feel.
it clear
You know what I'm
he
saying?
wanted to sweat because this would be very important money for him in his situation with college. Now, I also heard that
Like, that's the issue. You know, he might be playing with people that like these other people look like they're streamers, and so as streamers, they probably have significantly more money than him, and they might not be as financially pressed. That like, I don't really need this money. I don't care if we win, right? But I can't play devil's advocate on that aspect because I just don't see 40 grand. Like, even if you're decently rich, I haven't heard of any of these people, so they're obviously not super famous, like Kai Cenat famous. But 40 grand for a small time streamer, I feel like it's still impactful that you should be trying. And he's like, well, they should have been quick play. I completely agree, right? And it's not even like, I don't think he's sweating. I think he's doing what you should do in a tournament, which is putting your all out there. Because it's 40 grand. That's like, that's some people's yearly salary. Like, I'm in an education degree right now. And I think that'd be my yearly salary for like the first 3 years I worked.
when the tournament was put together, there wasn't
Yeesh.
an announcement about how much money was on the line. So
Oh,
I think maybe
okay.
there was some confusion from the team where they wanted to just play for fun and sillies and goofies. And then once $40,000 was announced, they still had that mindset. Meanwhile, Kingsman really wanted a piece of that pie because it would be helpful to him. It'd be like,
My main question, were these teams formed like beforehand that Kingsman joined them? Because if so, I feel like Kingsman should have been like, oh, hey guys, like this is a lot of money. Can we be serious? And if they were like, no, we're just trying to troll, he should have switched. But if it's like a random thing, or maybe there's like a cutoff, I can understand. But I kind of, if it was announced ahead of time, and then he was like, oh well, we were all gonna troll at first, he should have had a conversation with them. And if he didn't, and he was like, oh well, I'm just gonna assume they're gonna try hard, that might be a little bit of his fault, you know, because they might have misunderstood.
$3,000, which is a significant amount of money, especially for someone in college where this could be very useful. So that clashed where he really wanted to win. His team, who they didn't give too much of a fuck. They didn't think it was that big of a deal. So he, throughout like their time playing together, would be making like suggestions and saying like, hey, you know, there's going to be this in the tournament, there's going to be that, maybe we should look at this, maybe we should look at that. And I think they were just getting so annoyed that he was wanting to win so badly that they started to really resent him for it. It eventually led to like the bubbling over point where he got reported to the tournament organizer. They said a whole bunch of nasty stuff about him, and then it snowballed into what it is today.
Report him to the tournament organizer because the man wanted to win, bro. Okay, sure.
Mainly because the team captain was so vocal about her disdain for this guy. She said things like, I'm pretty sure he spent all 20 years of his life inside playing video games, which is why he lacks social skills.
Wow. That's mature.
As a director of finance, I'm managing 15 and 20 contracts a month With Acrobat, AI is...
You are also spending your time inside playing video games. You're a streamer. Why are you using that as an insult against him? I didn't really detect a lack of social skills throughout.
He hasn't spent all 20 years of his life playing video games. I mean, it's an accomplishment that he's top 500, but I mean, he's a college student. He's obviously classes and stuff. I don't understand why he got it. That's one thing I hate about a lot of people. If you start having a disagreement of opinions with somebody, like this here, where you just start attacking your, like, who you are as a person, like, oh, he plays a lot of video games, he must be a nerd, something like that. Like, just very basic insults they start throwing at you just to make themselves feel better whenever there's a slight conflict or disagreement of opinion. Instead of being like, well, oh, I see your opinion, let's discuss this. And it's like, well, actually, you're fat, ugly, you're a Discord mod, yada, yada, yada. And I don't understand why. It's so frustrating to me.
Any of the footage I saw of them playing together, I guess you could make an argument that, you know, maybe his attitude could grind your gears because he was offering like a lot of advice on potential team comps, and he did multiple times mention like, hey, the Black Widow's probably not going to work here. We've got to be mindful of like dive comps, that kind of thing. Would you be willing to try like Bucky perhaps? And they would
see, and that's what's confusing me, because like back in the, again, I'm not a competitive gamer, right? Back in the good old days of Fortnite, there was a designated, or Apex Legends, sorry, Apex Legends. Let's use Apex Legends because I know that one was guaranteed. One of the people, their whole role was just to tell the whole team what to do at all times. They're called like the NRG, and they just sit there and like boss the people around, you know. And I remember my one friend would do it, and he would always tell us like, "Oh, we're pushing this now, or we're pushing that. Let's go loot this building. Let's push this fight. Let's back up. Yada yada yada." And you usually listen to him. And I know in like things like World of Warcraft, you have people like that. I don't understand why. I don't think what he was doing was to be grinding of gears. I think it was trying to manage a group of people to win something. You know, I don't think that's too crazy that he was doing that. I was like gold 1 and we were doing callouts. You know what I'm saying? It's just what you do.
always kind of like roll their eyes at him and be like, shut the fuck up. Like, there's a clip I saw where one of them was like, you've got to just drop this, drop this, drop this. That's enough. Stop making suggestions, basically, about, you know, switching. It's not happening. Look, which I think is a pretty hostile response to that, because this is coming from a place of him just trying to help the team win. I don't think he was being, like, necessarily overbearing with it or anything like that. He certainly wasn't really being aggressive about it. Like, he never got personal. He was never, like, insulting his teammates. He was never doing anything like that, from what I could tell. So I truly didn't see like a lack of social skills. I just saw someone who really wanted to win because there was a significant amount of money on the line. And if you're in a tournament, why would you not be trying to win? Team captain even made this statement saying, I don't want to win with someone who can't take no for an answer. Which is a certified stinky comment for sure. That's a big time PU moment right there for the Jumbotron.
What does that have to do with anything? Is she saying, like, because you wouldn't take no? Like, he wanted the one girl to switch off of Black Widow, and she said no, and he couldn't take no as an answer, like, he's the problem? Is that what she's trying to say? If so, holy me when I'm coping, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, no. No shot am I gonna be like, yeah, I can actually see that. That's logical reasoning. No. He's giving you recommendations because you're 0 and 5, or your friend's 0 and 5, and you refuse to see that that's a problem. 0 and 5 at that point, it's better if you just sit and spawn and don't do anything than defeat their team, in my opinion.
I don't know where that's even coming from. His suggestions weren't heeded. Okay? He didn't start, like, you know, stomping his feet and yelling and screaming and pissing and shitting about it either. He's just like, okay, alright, we'll do it. We'll run it, fuck it, we'll do it live. And when it didn't work, he did eventually say, like, look, told you so, can we please make this switch, and then still got attacked for it. I didn't see any examples of him not taking no for an answer. Like, yes, he did make a suggestion multiple times, like, would you be willing to try this? Would you be willing to maybe switch here? What about this? But that isn't not taking no for an answer. That is coming from someone who wants to win a fucking $40,000 tournament. He then continued to insult Kingsman and I guess anyone that was supporting him.
Wow, okay. What are you talking about? You're spreading hate. What are we talking about? Oh my god. And some of you might ask, like, what do you mean it's better if you don't play? Like, it's always better to have everybody contributing. So the way it was explained to me at one point by my friend who plays Overwatch was when you sit there and you do damage, right? Which is what the Widowmaker's doing because she's not, or Black Widow because she's not killing anybody. You're allowing the healers to get close to their ults because they have more to heal. The goal of a DPS is to like finish off the kills they start. You should want to pick off the kills because if you kill somebody, then the healers can't use their decreased health to get closer to their ult. If you're constantly just chipping away health, you're allowing the healers to get closer to ults. And some of the healer ults in a decent amount of them actually in Marvel Rivals are really, really good. Like my favorite one is Rocket Raccoon because it makes pretty much your whole team invincible. It increases their damage and it heals them. I'm pretty sure, right? Like, it's insane. It's insane. And so, pretty much, I think what he was saying was that she was just feeding by damaging. And they should know that as Grandmasters, because I've never played comp in my life, and I know that.
In her Discord saying, yo, Kingsman cocksuckers, screenshot this. Y'all think I ain't seen the toxicity in the Kingsman Discord with
I love
not spreading hate from the mods and Kingsman community? Fire emoji.
That's one of my biggest things, right? Biggest pet peeves, okay? Is when people like we saw earlier, she was sitting there saying he's always inside, he doesn't touch grass, he has no life, he spent all 20 years of his life playing games, right? So she's insulting him. He then sees that and is like, okay, well that's kind of rude. I'm gonna show my fans this. The fans are gonna insult her because she insulted him first, and then she's like, what? You insulted me? Like, and I'm not saying it's just a her thing. Guys, girls, anybody will do it, and I hate when they do that. Like, there's plenty of people in this world that will throw shade at you, or throw shade at, like, for example, she's throwing shade at this guy, then when she gets shade back, she's like, what? What are you talking about? Like,
this one will really get your eyebrow in the air.
What do you mean?
She's calling out the people that were supporting Kingsman, saying they're cocksuckers, and how toxic they are. Meanwhile, she has been the most openly toxic, like,
that's what I'm saying.
vocally expressing her disdain for this guy.
I can be toxic, but you can't,
like,
you know?
his community. And let's not get it twisted. I think it's pretty obvious. Most people have probably seen a lot of, like, really dog shit takes from people that are using this as just, like, a giant insult against all women who play video games.
Not what I'm saying.
That is absolutely happening, and that shit sucks. Those are some fucking losers you can make fun of. Absolutely. But she, from what I can tell when this message was sent, was talking about, like, anyone that was expressing support for Kingsman, and I'm sure there probably were some, like, absolute greaseballs that went through and said some terrible things, sure. But to extend that to, like, anyone that was supporting Kingsman, calling them cocksuckers, I think is just kind of crazy.
I feel like no matter what, we're in the generation where anything anybody says online is under such scrutiny. Like, especially when you get to that size, guy or girl, I think you're gonna get hate no matter what. You know what I'm saying? Like he's saying like people are using that to support their own hate. That's gonna happen everywhere, I feel like, and that's an unfortunate part of the internet. I think why a lot of people are like scared to maybe post more content. It's just because it's like no matter where you go, I feel like on the internet there's gonna be people that use anything you say as support for their extremist takes. Like, oh, well, this one girl wouldn't switch off of Black Widow, so all women don't know how to play games. Like, no, not the context of the clip, not the context of what anybody's saying here. Girl or guy can be stubborn and not switch off of a character. You know what I'm saying? I've met friends that are dudes that will do that. You know what I'm saying? Plenty of guys will do that. Their egos are just too big to switch off.
Especially considering she has by far been the most mean and nasty about this. Kingsman, from what I saw from the clips that were during this time, he tried to like actively say like, hey, don't go harass anyone and don't be mean.
That's good. I love when people do that.
At the end of the day. Like, he was clearly upset about it, but I felt like he was doing, or at least making an effort to try and stop people from going and doing shit like that. She, on the other hand, was just openly attacking him.
Popular,
everyone thinks this guy's a
diver exploder like a bug. That's just what happens.
That's such a good point. You're so right about that, and we're still gonna play Widow.
I need this for my college.
Oh, okay, so we're mocking the guy because he has problems with money. Wow, we're great people.
I need this for my college. I have about 6 or 7 more years.
Oh, yeah, so we're rude. Okay.
picked a great main, but your voice doesn't quite match
That's
it?
so awesome.
We have a fix.
Voice mod gives you over 100.
I
This
don't
is
care.
a clip I keep seeing spread around. That first clip is when he is explaining like why the widow's not going to work, and they're like, "Oh, great point. Go fuck yourself. We're still playing. Widow. That's all we're gonna do. We're here just for
Nice.
good vibes, good time, and I don't care if this money means something to you because it does."
See, that's what's interesting to me, because they say good vibes, right?
Happens.
That's such a good point. You're so right about that, and we're still gonna play Widow.
I need this for my college.
See, like the first one, okay, that one's like, okay, I guess I can kind of see the good vibes. Like, oh, we just want to play our character.
I need this for my college. I have about 6 or 7 more years.
This is
Okay, see, that second part, I'm just like, so we're talking about good vibes here, right? Like, he can't give the criticism towards the character, right? But they can make fun of, like, his financial situation. Which is, I think, just very rude on their part that they're like, oh, 6 or 7, you're broke. I'm just like, ooh. Like, I get you're frustrated. I just think that's low-hanging fruit to make fun of somebody's financial ability. And it's, you want a fun environment when it benefits you. Like, oh, I don't want to listen to your Black Widow take because I want to have fun. And I want this to be a healthy environment. But then you mock his financial situation, which isn't a healthy environment, but you're allowed to do that because he's making an unhealthy environment. You know what I'm saying? Like, I believe, right? Like, Vinland Saga is my goat. So if you want, let's take, for example, the situation, a healthy environment, okay, and he won't shut up about Black Widow. He was like, okay, I'm not gonna play Black Widow. Like the first girl, like she kind of mocked him a little bit, but whatever, that one's fine. Once you start getting to personal level of like, you're stooping down to the level of toxicity whenever you're like, ha ha ha, I'm gonna make fun of you back because you're annoying me. Like that's where the toxicity comes in. If you're just like, okay, whatever, I'm not gonna let this bug me, I'm gonna move on with my life, yada yada. Like that first girl, okay, well, I'm not gonna play the different character. I appreciate you trying, but it's not gonna happen. Sorry, not sorry. That's sorry, not sorry. That's a little bit added. Just like, I'm not gonna switch my character. It's not happening. Like you gotta let it go, right? You know, that's where I think a healthy environment is. Like I'm not switching. That's the situation. I know this money means a lot to you, but it means a lot to me that I just have fun and enjoy my time. Maybe next time you'll play with it, but we can play with different teams so we don't have this conflict, right? Whenever you start sitting there and like you're in an argument and you're like, haha, let me attack you. Like, no part of like it's a low, and I feel like dirty blow and kind of a low hanging fruit to pick at someone when you're supposed to have a healthy environment. I don't believe anything good comes from negativity, right? Like he was just trying to build a game. What good came from that person making fun of his money situation, you know? That's what I think about in daily life. Like sometimes we get frustrated, I understand. I'm human, right? And sometimes we get frustrated, we want to be like, well, well, he's broke, haha, 6, 7 more years, you're broke, haha. But when I think about it, like, what positive thing came from that being said? Like, making fun of his financial situation in a day, in a week, in a month, what positive thing came? Nothing. It was a temporary satisfaction feeling. You were like, ha 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 ha, I can make fun of this guy. I feel bigger right now. And then honestly, maybe even later you felt guilty about it. And maybe you didn't, but I'm just saying, like, I don't know if I'm explaining this properly. When you do things like that, nothing good comes from it. That is a purely negative interaction, in my opinion, right? And I like to try to think about that when I go about my day. Sometimes whenever somebody says something to you that upsets you, you want to say something rude back, right? And that's what she did. What would your rude rebuttal do other than put the person down so you feel better? And then that person could be frustrated, rude rebuttal you back, and you get in this instant loop, but then you also got that guilt, and maybe somebody ever heard what you said, now there's multiple people thinking you're rude. And it just doesn't represent who you are, and I don't think it's a good thing to do. Like, it was rude. It was rude and a low-hanging fruit, in my opinion.
Clip I keep seeing spread around. That first clip is when he is explaining like why the widow's not going to work, and they're like, oh, great point. Go fuck yourself. We're still playing Widow. That's all we're gonna do. We're here just for good vibes, good time, and I don't
my
care if
game
this money
not
means something to
freeze?
you because it doesn't to us. That second clip, that is not CC. That is someone else named Lucy, whom has deleted this VOD, so I can't even find the full context here. But from the sound of things, she is insulting Kingsman because of him expressing the.
She deleted the VOD because she knows she was in the wrong, right? She deleted the VOD public because she was getting a lot of hate, which is what I'm saying. You create a cycle of hatred, and you breed more hatred whenever you give into it. If you're rude and condescending, all you're doing is creating more rudeness and condescendingness.
Want of the $3,000 because it would be very helpful to him as a college student. So then she's like making fun of him, taking the piss, even threw in an absolutely revolting 6-7 meme reference that'll make your skin crawl about it. It's just very mean-spirited. There's also another clip of her talking about it, saying, like, even if you support Kingsman, like it's fucking Israel or something. I don't even know what she was trying to say with that one. I guess since I referenced it, I'll show you that clip too.
I have a genuine question. Like, seriously, answer this. Even if you support Kingsman, whatever, support Kingsman like it's fucking Israel. Anyways, whatever you have in your head.
Ooh, so we're getting political with it. That's crazy. What is the goal? Like, this person just represents all of the things that I just disagree with, from what I can tell. The short-term badgering remarks. I hate when people say illogical badgering remarks to kind of back in the court. Well, if you support this guy, then you support, like, a bad political thing or political thing. Like, I don't know the situation. I don't want to get into it because it's very political. But I don't like people like that.
I have a genuine question.
I think everyone has a genuine question after seeing that segment.
I hate when people do that.
I don't know why she would be saying something like that with this. Again, the whole VOD, from what I can tell, is no longer accessible, so I don't even know what the question she was about to ask is. But yeah, it's definitely not a good look, and she is very openly, like, making fun of Kingsman from what I can see in the clips that still exist of it. But this is not CC. This was not someone that played on Kingsman's team. I don't believe. All of this is only the tip of the iceberg, by the way.
Oh my god.
It gets so
okay, so she was just a random viewer. Okay, that's weird.
There was a Google...
I still stand by everything I said. Represents a lot of negativity, in my opinion.
Doc that was put out there from the widow's boyfriend. The tournament organizer initially, like, doubled down, saying, nope, I maintain my position here. He deserved to be kicked from this tournament. He violated all of our rules. And then today he came forward very somber, like, look, I know everyone's mad at me and they're right to be mad at me. I was wrong about everything. I looked at this misleading evidence. It was only from one side and it was incorrect. I acted too hastily. So now he's, like, singing a very different tune about how, you know, he's had this...
I feel like he probably got confronted by a lot of people and receiving a lot of hate. I hate when people double down without hitting both sides. Like, he's admitting he didn't listen to the other side. The other side, I can't imagine how frustrated he felt. I've seen some clips about him talking about how annoying and frustrating it was. I hate when people make a decision by only hearing one side, because that guy is probably villainized by the recruiters for like a day or so.
From the Jesus moment after seeing the other side of the story,
should have seen the side from the beginning.
It's very clear that he was manipulated by incorrect information. He shouldn't have kicked him from the tournament.
When they come in here, the people, when they come in here, when they hate, they're justified in what they're saying. They're absolutely right. They're absolutely right. 100%. No question about it. Like, there's no beating around the bush.
So he admits he was wrong.
I don't know why it's, like, difficult to admit when you're wrong and when you fucked up. I made a decision based off of haste and based off of misinformation, but everybody in the team knew what was going on.
See, that's what I'm saying. He says everybody in the team. What does that mean? If everybody knew what was going on, why didn't she say anything? I just don't understand why if he's a tournament organizer, we're talking about $40,000, right? I don't know why you wouldn't pause and double check your information before you kick the guy.
Everybody in this team knew what was going on, and the fact that nobody told me it was, that's whatever. It doesn't matter.
It does matter though, because the guy lost a chance at 40 grand because you wouldn't look into what, like, I just hate when he, like, that ruined that guy's opportunity of money.
Also, Kaplunk.
But it seems like he probably would have lost anyways. To Kingsman, I'm reaching out to apologize and talk about the way things went down. In this case, I went about it in a completely wrong way. I overstepped. Salsa told me to leave it alone in confidence and dumb impulse decisions. Kingman, I am sorry for sending the clips which caused Basman to kick you from the event. The Google Doc release was one-sided and painted you in a very extremely negative light was my bias. Who's Kaplunk? I shouldn't have gone out of my way to involve myself in a situation I was not part of. Zaza, I am sorry for going behind your back to release a Google document despite you warning me not to. This is a massive wake-up call, and if there is any hate to be directed at me.
Was the boyfriend in this story is reaching out with an
Oh,
apology,
okay.
saying that he went about it the wrong way and overstepped. Zaza, the widow, told him to leave it alone, but he couldn't control his impulses. The demon had to be let out of the cage. Thus, he went in and started sending clips to the tournament organizer to kick him.
Oh!
The Google Doc.
Oh, so the
all that kind of
boyfriend
stuff.
got him kicked.
And then finally, CC, the team captain, the one who was
Wait,
by
whoa,
far
whoa,
the
whoa,
most
whoa, whoa,
openly
whoa.
hostile to Kingsman.
Hold up. First off, why is the coordinator listening to anything this random ass boyfriend has to say? I mean, with all due respect, why is he? The tournament organizer should have taken a step. I'm sorry I was going off the video and forgot to explicitly call us out. Earlier today, I woke up to 1,000 plus notifications from the day before, and people had joined my server from Kingsman. I was having a panic attack, and I just started experiencing them. So my freak out, I said Kingsman lacked social skills because he spent his time playing video games inside. I was angry and ended up lashing out at him instead of the community. I deeply regret it and I apologize. For flinging another insult out, this shows I have terrible character, but I will be working on watching the words I say and getting help with my pain. Even though the initial situation calmed down, CC continued to bully Kingsman and speak ill of him across social media. CC has a history of attacking other players and talking trash. That's awesome. Okay, so let me go back and double check this real quick. So we're at 11, we're like right before 12 minutes. Okay, I'm pretty sure when so the first text he shows of her is at 11:40. So this is the second text at 11:40 a.m. I'm pretty sure the first text is from like 10 o'clock. So yeah, right here. Yeah. So she sat there for like an hour having a quote unquote panic attack, just shitting on people. See, and she's like, "Oh, I said that he spends a lot of time inside playing games." No, you said he spends all of his time, all of his 20 years inside playing games, and he lacks social skills. You downplay it here. He lacks social skills because he spent his time playing video games. No, you said he spent his whole life playing video games inside, and he lacks social skills.
To Kingsman and anyone
I really
that
like
was
that they
showing
called him
any
out on
level
it.
of
That's all.
support
Her
for
out
him,
on it.
came forward with an apology as well, saying, "I'm sorry, I was going off the video and forgot to explicitly call this out. Earlier today, I woke up with 1,000 noties from the day before, and people had joined my server from Kingsman, having a panic attack, and I just started experiencing them. So in my freak out, I said Kingsman lacks social skills because he spends his time playing video games inside. I was angry and ended up lashing out at him instead of his community. I deeply regret it. I apologize for flinging another insult out. It shows I have terrible character, but I will be working on watching the words I say and getting help with my panic attacks." A community note even got hot dropped on here straight off the battle bus saying, "Even after the initial situation calmed down, CC continued to bully Kingsman and speak ill of him across social media. CC has a history of attacking other players and talking trash."
See, that's the thing.
So that
She's using
apology
like
didn't-
somebody who she's using a thing like panic attacks, which is like a genuine issue, right? I know people that have experienced them, and I myself have only experienced very minor ones, but I've seen people that have had very aggressive panic attacks, and she's using it as like a checkout, like, "Oh, I just recently started having them." Like, it's just a cop out for being a bad person.
really go as smoothly as I think she was hoping it would.
Well, no, because it's a cop out.
Interestingly enough, from what I can find, Kingsman throughout this entire thing has tried to urge people not to harass anyone that's been involved in it. You know, Zaza, her boyfriend, Cece, anyone. He's been trying to like actively calm things down to the best of his ability, but this clearly blew up well beyond anyone's wildest expectations. And Kingsman actually was able to make over $3,000, which would have been his cut of the prize money should they have won
Okay.
the tournament, through
3,000
subs and
W.
donations the last time he streamed, which I believe was last night. So a bit of a happy ending for Kingsman. Not exactly the smoothest sailing for his teammates that were bullying him, attacking him, and insulting him. That hasn't...
It's just situations like these are just so frustrating because it's just somebody just being extremely rude for no good reason. Like that one girl had no reason to add her contribution in. $3,000 is a lot of money. I thought it was $40,000 at first, but still, $3,000 is a huge chunk that just to be like, who cares, is very pretentious in my opinion. But yeah, thank you for watching. Let me know if you like this video, guys. I'll see you next time.